Consider any service industry and look to the individuals who are most responsible for day-to-day customer interactions and customer perceptions of service quality, and you'll most likely see the lowest paid and least respected individuals in the industry. Human resource management. Getting it right starts with hiring the right people. Hiring the right people includes competing for applications from the best employees in the labour market, then selecting from this pool the best candidates for the specific jobs to be filled. To be able to select and hire the best people, they first have to apply for a job with you and then accept your job offer over other potential offers. The best people tend to be selected by several firms. That means that a firm has to compete for talent market share or participate in the war for talent. Competing in the labour market means having an attractive value proposition for prospective employees and includes such factors as having an image in the community as being a good place in which to work, delivering high-quality products and services which makes employees feel proud to be part of the brand, and having a reputation of corporate social responsibility. There's no such thing as the perfect employee. Different positions are often best filled by people with different skill sets, styles, and personalities. Human resource managers have also discovered that while good manners and the need to smile and make eye contact can be taught, warmth itself cannot. Jim Collins emphasizes that the right people are those who would exhibit the desired behaviors anyway, as a natural extension of their character and attitude, regardless of any control or incentive system. The logical conclusion is that a service firm should devote great care to attracting and hiring the right staff for customer contact positions.
What do you look for in a person that says, hey, this person would be is a good employee or a good fit for the Zappos culture? Because I think that a lot of our members who work in contact centers and run departments on customer care are challenged by that. You know, how do you find the right skill set? And it's not always the hard skills, it's the soft skills as well. So I just was curious, having sat in on a training just a few minutes.
Yeah, we've actually, I think in general, found that it's, for the call center, for example, it's actually easier to hire people that don't have call center experience because you don't have to untrain them from bad habits.
To de-brainwash them.
Yeah. Right. But basically what we do is our recruiting team has questions for each of our core values, and over time that list has kind of evolved, and so, for example, one of our core values is to be humble. So if we interview someone that's great in every way, has all the skills and so on, except they're really egotistical, we just won't hire them. Whereas I think most, and for any position, whether it's call center or as a lawyer or a software developer, whereas I think most companies, if that happened, they compromise and say, you know, well, this person can add a lot of value to our top or bottom line, and there's this kind of annoying thing about him or her, but we'll hire this person. Right. And I think you do that thousands of times, and that's why, you know, after the 1,000th time you do that, then the culture is really bad.
Well, jobs are being found in a place that's literally right at our fingertips. It turns out that those social networking sites we sometimes blame for eating up hours of productivity, they just might be the place to score a good job. Tonight, my colleague Bill Weir has an exclusive interview with Facebook exec Sheryl Sandberg for our series, Bringing America Back.
There's a good reason Sheryl Sandberg is considered the most powerful woman in Silicon Valley, and it has little to do with her viral commencement speeches.
We need women at all levels, including the top.
Or new friendship with Oprah. She is the chief operating officer at Facebook, the woman who came out of the Treasury Department and came over from Google to help CEO Mark Zuckerberg turn his dorm room startup into a global internet powerhouse. She's the woman who runs a company that soon could have 1 billion users and be worth $100 billion. But in this economy, she's mostly powerful because she's hiring.
Great engineers in this economy, no matter what, are in hugely high demand, and all the companies compete for them. Yeah. It's why more students should study computer science. It's a great way to make sure you can be employed for the rest of your life.
Mamas, let your babies
That's
grow
right.
up to be coders.
Computer scientists. That's exactly right.
She rarely gives interviews, but is anxious to tout the idea that even if you didn't go to Harvard and can barely work a mouse, Facebook could be the key to your next job.
As we talk about the ad side of it as well,
60% of job hunters find employment through people they know. And these days, most of the people you know are probably on Facebook.
Those direct connections are really important. And obviously, if you're looking for a job, you should be telling the people you know you're looking. But if you do that on Facebook, whether you do it in a status update or a post, you can tell all of your friends, and then they can pass it on to their friends. The other thing people do, and I think quite successfully, is they use Facebook to research possible employment opportunities.
There are around 9 million American businesses with Facebook pages, a direct way for the savvy job seeker to research and reach out to companies before they ever put up a help wanted sign. And for those willing to invest a little in their search, there are Facebook ads.
There you go. Great.
Let's say you're a wedding photographer in the Twin Cities, someone just like Chris Meyer. Competition is cutthroat for that kind of work here.
Just nuzzle her a little bit. Yeah, there you go.
But rather than spend a lot of money on huge newspaper ads, Chris can buy a small, relatively cheap sample of his work that will go directly to women who change their Facebook relationship status to engaged.
This year will be hands down the largest year that we've ever had. We'll do about 250 to 300% of what we did last year.
One bride would be thrilled that he found her that way. Somebody else might be a little creeped out by it.
Privacy is one of the most important things we do, and it's a very firm commitment we have to all of our users. We took his ad and we showed it to all of those women, but we never gave a single bit of information on any of those women to Chris Myers. We never give those people information. We just show them something they're interested in.
So theoretically, this could also work for job hunters marketing themselves. So I asked one of Facebook's Harvard-educated wizards to show me how.
So let's say you want to be a zookeeper.
A zookeeper,
yeah.
All right.
Through a rather simple interface, anyone can write an impassioned plea.
Out of work animal lover.
Out of work animal lover.
Wants to help primates and the children who love them. Can you help me?
Can you help me?
By picking specific profile words.
Maybe giant
pandas,
right.
Yeah.
A link to your resume could be delivered to the kind of people who may be able to put in a good word for you down at the zoo.
Okay, like 161,000 people who meet that criteria. So
right.
Maybe that's like a good starting point.
You then tell Facebook how much you're willing to pay each time someone clicks on your resume.
The suggested bid here is $3.34 to $6.34 per click.
This is per click, right.
Okay.
But hey, it may be worth it if I get a new exciting job out of this.
But these days it seems that is still a big if. And Sandberg has a couple suggestions on how to turn the if into when.
We've lost so much faith in our leadership in Washington to try to figure out the fix. And so many people think, well, let's turn to business. What ideas do you have on how to turn this thing around?
We need to restore confidence. Consumer confidence to spend money, business confidence to hire. It's about having the right regulatory environment that encourages business, that continues to create, the kind of entrepreneurs America has created. The Sam Waltons and Mark Zuckerbergs and Steve Jobs and Oprah Winfrey's, the people that can build something out of absolutely nothing that can be useful. And it's about our education system. Our education system used to be one of the world's best or the world's best. It is so far from that. We are failing our children, and over the long run, our competitiveness will be completely tied to how well we educate our children.
I don't know how anybody could not hire you. Look at that ad. That's brilliant.
But in the meantime, our children may have to educate us on 21st century adaptation in this era when the help wanted sign seems to be fading away in more ways than one.
Step number 2, enable your people. Virtually all breakthrough service firms have legendary stories of employees who recovered failed service transactions or worked the extra mile to make a customer's day or avoid some kind of disaster for that client. To allow this to happen, employees have to be empowered. Empowerment means giving staff the information and authority to make discretionary decisions to vary from policy and procedures in certain circumstances. Employee self-direction has become increasingly important, especially in service firms, because frontline staff frequently operate on their own, face-to-face with the customers, and it tends to be difficult for managers to monitor their behaviour closely. Research has also linked higher empowerment to higher customer satisfaction. Teams, training, and empowerment go hand in hand. Teams facilitate communication between team members and the sharing of knowledge. By operating like a small, independent unit, service teams take on more responsibility and require less supervision than more traditional, functionally organised customer service units. Furthermore, teams often set higher performance targets for themselves than supervisors would, and pressure to perform is high within a good team. Despite this, it's not easy to make teams function well. If people are not prepared for teamwork and the team structure is not set up right, a firm risks having initially enthusiastic volunteers who lack the competencies that teamwork requires. The skills needed include not only cooperation, listening, coaching, and encouraging others, but also an understanding of how to air differences, tell one another hard truths, and ask tough questions. All of these requires training. Employees rely heavily on the perceptions of what is important by their perceptions of what the company and its leaders do, not so much in what they say. Employees gain an understanding of what is important through the daily experiences they have with the firm's human resources, operations, and marketing practices and procedures. A strong service culture is one where the entire organisation focuses on the front line and understands that it is the lifeline of the business. The organisation understands that today's as well as tomorrow's revenue are largely driven by what happens at that service encounter. Step 3. Motivate and engage your people. Once a firm has hired the right people, trained them well, empowered them, and organised them into effective service delivery teams, how can it ensure that they will deliver service excellence? Staff performance is a function of ability and motivation. Hiring, training, empowerment, and teams give you able people, and reward systems are the key to motivation. Service staff must get the message that providing quality service holds the key for them being rewarded. Motivating and rewarding strong service performers are some of the most effective ways of retaining them. A major way service businesses fail is that they do not utilize the full range of available rewards effectively. Many firms think in terms of money as reward, but it does not pass the test of an effective reward. Receiving a fair salary is a hygiene factor rather than a motivating factor. Paying more than what is seen as fair only has short-term motivating effects and wears off quickly. On the other hand, bonuses that are contingent on performance have been earned again and again, and therefore tend to be more lasting in their effectiveness. Other more lasting rewards are the job content itself. People are motivated and satisfied if the job is intrinsically interesting and offers a variety of different activities, requires the completion of whole and identifiable pieces of work, and is seen as significant in the sense that it has an impact on the lives of others, and comes with autonomy. And if performing the job itself has a source of direct and clear feedback about how well employees did their work. Another reward is feedback and recognition. If employees are being recognized and thanked for service excellence, they will desire to deliver it. And finally, goal accomplishment. Goals focus people's energy. Goals that are specific, difficult but attainable, and accepted by staff are strong motivators and yield higher performance than no goals, vague goals, or goals that are impossible to achieve.
First off, let's talk food. We have a stir fry of calamari with Chinese sausage. Imagine 11 gourmet restaurants in your office. We serve rack of lamb all the time. And all the food is free.
Julie, salad?
Now imagine a free fitness center.
Come on, don't give up on me.
A barber shop that comes to you. Car washes while you work. Pool tables in your office, lap pools for exercise, volleyball courts, and naturally, company massages. Sound like vacation?
No, it's definitely not a vacation, but it's a pretty great place to work.
Want to buy a hybrid? This company will give you $5,000 to do it. Want to wear your jammies to work? No problem. Do your laundry? Free.
Some nice deep breaths in and out.
Got a cold? There are 5 doctors on site, and they are all free.
There's a culture of appreciating your environment, your fellow human being, how it should be in utopia.
Utopia may be a bit strong, but after studying hundreds of American companies, Fortune magazine this morning is announcing that
Google is America's best company to work for.
That's right, Google. All these perks are the product of the search engine giant based in Mountain View, California.
This is the most engaging, insanely great work environment in corporate America. I mean, it blows your mind when you see all the food, the massage stations, the couches, the wacky behavior. You know, people are truly having a great time at work here.
And what does Google get in return? Employees with tremendous job loyalty and productivity.
Everything is sort of geared towards letting you focus on being productive and actually building a great product.
Who work through the night if necessary, and who tell us they have never had more fun. The Vice President of People Operations, Laszlo Bach.
It seems like people here are way too happy. Seriously, it looks like a problem. They're way too happy. I want to see more frowns around here.
Yeah, if that's a problem, I hope we have lots of problems of that nature.
If there's a problem, it's success. Despite all these expensive perks, the company is posting record profits with huge margins and growing so fast that keeping this intimate culture will be a challenge.
Google receives about 3,000 applications a day. That's about 1 million a year, all chasing about 4,000 jobs.
Jobs with drop-dead perks. Googlers, as they call themselves, can bring their pets to work, just as long as their coworkers don't mind pets or heavy breathing. That's better.
It's nice to be able to share a little bit of your life with your coworkers.
But will the company's founders wake up one day and realize their employees are having too much fun? Like these two clowning around in their silver capes? Oh wait, those are Google's founders, billionaires Larry Page and Sergey Brin.
I think a lot of the core philosophy about how we think about people comes from that. Hierarchy is bad, big monolithic teams are bad, and the opposite of those are good.
meaning small, creative teams, highly flexible, and so motivated.
I'm a photographer. I'm going to take your picture from a helicopter about 500 feet above you.
That Googlers are happy to do almost anything for their company, including standing out in the rain for the Fortune magazine photo shoot.
It could be a blizzard, people would still be out here.
For the lucky ones who do get jobs at Google, they tell us it is easy to love this company and a little difficult to keep a straight face.
This is a phenomenal upgrade from my last employer.
I love my job.
I have more fun here than I do sometimes with my own family. Wait, don't quote me on that.